This is stunning here. Let's just pause for a minute and appreciate the beauty of this building. Welcome to Dan's on the Street. I'm Dan. I'm exploring the whole world, city by city, as seen through Google Maps and Google Street View. And today I'm in the country of Belgium for the first time, visiting the city of Ghent. Here it is, a little bit inland here. Beautiful old city. I'm really excited to explore this, check it out, learn a few things about it. Let us get on the streets here. Maybe we'll start out by this intersection right here. This looks interesting. And we'll go out from there. Okay, we're on the ground here. Beautiful sunny day here. A couple cranes up. Interesting tram. They have nice modern trams going through the city there. Love seeing that. Tons of bicycles here. Lots of bicycling. I'd heard that, I think, but pretty impressive amount of bikes there, all lined up. Beautiful old architecture. We're going to see some amazing old buildings here today. Really excited to see this place. Lovely little dining setting here. Sit outside. Oh, sounds like a lovely day. Everywhere you turn, there's little cafes, restaurants, that kind of thing. Again, bikes abounding. Love the look of this street here. Good mixture of really old architecture and some kind of newer stuff there. I don't know what just happened there. We just flew through time and space. I'll roll with it. That was weird though. Forgive me. Beautiful building here. I was reading that a lot of the really old architecture has actually been preserved here. Much of it from medieval times and newer, but a lot of it survived. We were just bouncing all around here. Something weird going on with the maps a little bit. Lovely view here of this canal, or river. I suppose it's a canal. Great building here on the left. Brick place. Wonderful. Love this curved corner to that. This is a city of about 265,000, I read. Just over 250,000. And over 500,000 in the metropolitan area. Decent size, not huge. Lovely old place there. A little statue of somebody here. Perhaps a professor or something. Would absolutely love to go for a walk down this street. This is just so inviting. Great little bridges here and there, crossing. Families out and about. Man, we were just zooming along there. These maps are a little funky here. Unusual style building there. Kind of neat though. What is happening with these maps? I tell you what. Let's pop up. This is utterly disorienting. Forgive me for this. I normally do much better with these. Let's see. Let's try somewhere else, okay? Let's go up here a little bit. That's very odd. Let's drop down by this large church. Check this out. Some amazing old cathedrals here, as you might expect. Oh yeah. Pretty place. Old stonework there. All food. Fondue. Oh, wow. Might go in there if that does have fondue. Cafe Albatross. I would spend a lot of time in cafes. I promise you. And little shops. Oh, goodness. Wine. Plenty to buy, plenty to do. So pretty out here. What a great setting. Just the whole scene is thoroughly inviting. Wonderful open air space here. This is amazing. This is an ancient region. People have been living in these parts going back to, well, Iron Age, even into the Stone Age. There's evidence of people living around here. Much later than that, though, Rome conquered this region at some point way back. There's not actually a lot of written history about that period. I read that there wasn't a lot of written history. I'm trusting that. It's hard to believe, but apparently so. This is stunning here. Let's just pause for a minute and appreciate the beauty of this building. Look at that. My goodness, I can't get over how beautiful this is up top. Is that ironwork up there? I think it is. Pretty fantastic. Looks like a socialist work. Something looks like they're fighting for hourly pay there of 14 euros. That's what it looks like to me. I was like seeing that. Fantastic buildings right in here. Just premium old places. Can you imagine the people that have walked these streets over the centuries? So many. Oh my word, look at this beautiful street here. I knew it was going to be a little bit overwhelming, but it definitely is. My. I've never been to Belgium. I've been to Germany. A few cities in Germany, but I would love to get to Belgium someday. I expect I will. I hope I will. Fantastic. Just taking this all in here. Anyways, Rome conquered the region way back, and then the Franks invaded the territory back in the 4th century, and they brought the Dutch language in with them. Interesting. Oh, can't quite go down that alley, it looks like, fortunately. Just following this bicyclist here. Beautiful. I'm utterly lost in this city right now. And I'm sure if you aren't familiar with it, you are lost with me as well, because I'm just taking random lefts and rights here without any direction. Kind of loving it though. Lots of low-level buildings. I think there's a few high-rises here, but most of what we're seeing is kind of 3-story, 4-story. Oh, there's a taller one in the distance there. Newer apartment building. Let's see, let's pop up. Let us pop up. There's rivers that just run all through here. All through. Let's try to get a sense of this. There's north side up. Here you can see this canal coming in here. It's an inland port city, so you can see these ports up here. Middendock, Zuiddock. It's probably South Dock, North Dock, Middle Dock, Groot Dock. How about that? Canals kind of run all through here. It's actually, this is a man-made canal all up in here, I was reading. They dug that out painstakingly back in the 1800s to connect to the water route there. Let's drop down somewhere else. Interesting buildings just everywhere we go here. Let's go on Dorns Street, something like that. Oh, nice modern place going in here. Nice residential area. Just head down one of these streets. Hopefully I've not been here already. I'm quite lost. Cafe Bulgaria. Anyways, back to its history. So the city slowly grew. There was a few abbeys founded here back in 650 AD. And then the city was plundered terribly twice by the Vikings back in 851 and 879. A few buildings blurred out here. There's a number of these European cities that got pretty paranoid about Google coming through. Fair enough. Doesn't bother me, I'll be honest. Look at this tiny little alleyway we're going to go through here. Bicyclists all around. Obviously, plenty of European vehicles here. Seen some Mercedes. There's a Mazda, Audi, VW. About what you'd expect. A mix, but mostly European brands. Love these trams here. Very neat. While I have your attention, I'd encourage you to check out my Patreon page. That's right, I started a Patreon page. Got a couple people on there, not too many, but I'd appreciate your support. It's $3 a month. I'm doing extra bonus tours there. Checking out bonus cities all around the world. If you enjoy this and you want to support me, That's a great way to do it. And short of that, please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. Or just leave a comment below saying hi. Any of that. Definitely welcome. Let's pop up again here. There's a few important churches I want to check out while we're here. All kinds of neat stuff here. I'm just glancing everywhere here. It's really well mapped. Look at this. You can get a sense of the skyline here. There we go. Amazing. Just let that slowly load here. Beautiful building here to the right. Institute here. Looks like a school. I want to check out this plaza if we can. Oh, we cannot. How disappointing. Well, I'll drop next to it. Fantastic old place in here. I think it said it's a school. I guess it kind of looks like a school. It also kind of looks like an old prison. But it's just these big walls that's kind of throwing me, but I think it is a school. Everywhere you turn, it's just stunning architecture. I don't know, trees down this street, bikes, almost too many bikes, I'd say. An overwhelming amount of bikes. I'm not against bicycling. I'm a supporter, I'm a fan, but that is a lot of bikes. There's really no getting around that. Beautiful building here off to the right. Amazing plaza here. Wow, nobody out right now. Fantastic. Some distant, taller building there. It's like one family out. Must just be the time of day, time of year. I'm sure they get a lot of tourists in here. Plenty of inviting little shops. Back to its history. So the city recovered slowly. By the 11th century, it was really flourishing. And by the 13th century, it was quite large. It was larger than Moscow at the time. It was like second only to Paris in this part of Europe for size. About 65,000 people lived here in the 13th century, which is very impressive. They all lived within the city walls at the time, which I don't know if any of those city walls still exist. Some cool street or, wall art here going up. New Axe Fresh. Oh, it's an ad. I fell for it too. I even said the brand. Forgive me. I totally thought that was like just art. You got me, Axe. You got me. Let's see here. Again, an interesting church there. I think we saw that steeple somewhere. There's one I wrote down the name of here. I'll see if I can find it. But I might need to look it up here. Let's check it out. Saint Bavo Cathedral. Up north. Okay. This is a beautiful old church. 10th century. I think the building itself is actually from a little bit later. Wow, look at this. 89 meter or 98 meter. One of those. I may have written it down backwards. Big old place. Let's drop outside and then we'll get inside too, I promise. Impressive. But what we're seeing here was built construction began in 1274. Wow. Spectacular. How impressive that must have been back in those days. I mean, and obviously still today. But back then, that just would have been stunning. And again, it still is. Quite the place. Let's drop inside. Whoa, what in the world? like we're inside a whale here or something. That is crazy. I don't know what happened to that whale. That was wild. Huh. Here's this. I believe this is the... Well, I'm not sure if this is it, but there's a very famous painting in here by Jan van Eyck, completed in 1432. It's a 12-panel... I want to call it a triptych, but of course it's not a triptych. What's going on with this? It must have a skeleton there for some reason. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah. What a massive place. Very impressive. Monument here to World War I. The city was taken in World War I by the Germans, and of course, again during World War II. Some wild statues in here. Pretty neat. Quite the place. Hello, look at this, we're on the roof. They have an open platform up here. That's fantastic that that's up here. Great observatory. This must have been like strategic for military purposes even, I wonder. Back in the 13th century. That's wild how high we are. You could see troops coming from a long ways out, I bet. I don't know if it was actually used strategically, but it wouldn't shock me. This is pretty neat up here. Great view of the city here. Wonderful. I would definitely come up here if it's open to the public. That's wonderful. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's another place I wanted to check out. It's this neat place called Gravensteen. 10th century castle. Wow. I read this is another one that has a date that I think is kind of wrong. I think what we're seeing here was actually built a little bit later, 1180, but maybe there was an original fortress here earlier. What a classic looking castle. Let's get on the ground, get a glance at it. Spectacular. Quite the fortress. It's now a museum, of course. How impressive is this? This is in great shape. Obviously, a lot of work has gone into maintaining this, but this looks probably somewhat similar to how it looked way back. Maybe it was... I don't know if originally some of these places were stuccoed. This is amazing, though. Wow. It goes without saying I would visit here. That's ridiculous. This was originally where the royal family would have stayed, or at least the counts. I read later it was a courthouse. It was a prison for some time. There was even a mint and a factory. And now a museum. That's insane. Amazing. Just amazing. So old. I really haven't noticed any of those city walls, and they must have taken them down over the centuries, or maybe we'll bump into them. This place there's too much to see. Too much to see. Not enough time. Huh. Back to its history. So, during those Middle Ages there, they began manufacturing of cloth from wool. It was a great land for sheep. So they herded a lot of sheep, and they made a lot of cloth. They made so much cloth that they actually had to start importing wool, I read. This is wonderful. And here's this little park. How picturesque. I'd love to live in like this place right there. Get this view out to the park. That seems great. These narrow old streets here. Imagine the little horse-drawn carriages that would have been coming through here, even just a century ago. Super modern building here now. Some interesting artwork. Sculpture. I'm always amused at what people put in the center. It seems like you get quite a variety of things for those roundabouts. Anything from 19th century sculptures to screws. So, you never know. Turkish bakery, I'd go in there. Definitely. Pizza grill, I might stop in there. Here we go. Some actual beautiful artwork on this building that is not an ad for deodorant. Kebab. A little shopping all around here. Let's take a right turn. These streets are just so welcoming. Little playground in there. And again, back to their history. I read that there's a lot of skirmishes back through the 14th and 15th century. Skirmishes is an understatement. We're talking just all kinds of battles and wars in this part of the world. The city was captured and freed or whatever numerous times. Not freed, I suppose, but it changed hands time and time again. 1726. It's probably a newer building here. Older than most every building in the United States, but probably on the newer side compared to some of these places. This place, let's run down a little bit. Some wild paint on the side of this one. Wow. Pretty awesome. Let's pop up. Let us pop up. I want to get outside of the old part of town just a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe up here by the university. Ghent University. Go down this street. See life outside the old city. Wonderful boulevard here. Nice homes along here. Really nice. The French captured the city, I read, back in 1745, which is really not that long ago when you think about it. And I guess there was the War of Austrian Succession. That's a war I'm not too familiar with. I was reading about it a little bit. But they returned the city under a later deal shortly. And then I was really fascinated reading about this man, Lieven Bouwens, who in 1800 he smuggled the industrial plans for a mechanical weaving machine, basically from England. And so the Industrial Revolution really began in England, is my understanding, and slowly spread. But he stole these plans. This is neat. And opened a cloth manufacturing company here. It was the first machine manufacturing company of fabric in mainland Europe. And of course they participated in all kinds of aspects of the Industrial Revolution here, I'm sure. Neat old building on the right there. Beautiful old place. Love it. In 1913, they had a big sort of World's Fair here, a world exhibition, which I always like seeing that. They opened a train station here. Let's check out that train station. A beautiful old train station. Gotten lost here. Let's see. Train comes through down here. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's drop in front of this place. This was built essentially for this World's Fair. Built in 1912 or something, just in time. We've added this little glass overhang. See if we can get a kind of wider view of this. I love old train stations. I'm sure I've said that before on this channel. Just love it. This big old clock tower there. Fantastic. Looks like they have a newer connection point there. Maybe that's the bus connection. That's wonderful. And of course, then the city was captured just, the following year or something, a couple years later. So that would have been pretty rough. But thankfully, not a lot of damage came to the city. At least not a lot to the buildings. I'm sure the people suffered. There's the backside of things. And then, a few decades later, taken again. Right towards the beginning of World War II. Well, depends on when you define the start of World War II, I guess. But I think back in 1940. I've been reading this book. It's called The Splendid and the Vile. It's the new book from Eric Larson. If you've read the book The Devil in the White City, he's written a number of great books. I've enjoyed a good many of them, but his latest one is called The Splendid and the Vile. It's all about Churchill. Basically, the day that Churchill became prime minister is the day that Belgium was taken by Germany, as well as another country. I forget suddenly in this moment. Just going down a highway out here. But pretty fascinating reading. I'm only 4 chapters in, so lots to go. Lovely modern building here. Fantastic. I love that. Love it. Big overhangs. It's great. Look at this canal. This must be part of this. What a barge. Or whatever. I don't even know what I'd call that. Canal boat. But I think that's heading out. Oh, okay, that's heading up here towards the larger canal. Yeah, this canal. This was constructed back in 1820 to connect to the sea. They had a river connection, I think, that ran further north. Or northeast, maybe. But they couldn't access that due to conflicts. So they constructed this and dug this out, and it's been widened several times since then. So now they have actual connection to the ocean out there. Just to get a sense of where we are here. There's Antwerp up there, Brussels, Bruges. I got to get to Bruges someday. Oh man. Definitely will make that happen. Let's see another place maybe over here. I'm going to miss all kinds of things. If I miss some of your favorite places here, do let me know. And I usually come back and I won't record another video probably, but I'll check it out myself, I promise. I always do. Usually try to comment on it, but I certainly check it out. It's so hard to see much of anything in the time frame I give myself. But I'm just trying to see a little bit, just a taste. I want to see a little bit of everything as we slowly explore the whole world, city by city. Fantastic. Let's see. What else should we check out? Maybe one more place. This is one thing I was reading about this a little bit. Look at this. Constructed back in the 50s for canoe racing. Or, water racing. Amazing. I guess there was a small river here prior. That's why the land was somewhat free. Pretty epic view down here. Tell you what, I'm eternally impressed by Google Maps. Look at how we can just float down here. It's amazing. I feel like I'm in a little drone or something, zooming over the city. Wonderful. Is there any ground views of that, I wonder? Looks like there's one here. Oh, speaking of drone, hello. Oh, there's actually a race going on there. Okay, you can see it. Amazing. Stunning, stunning light here. There's the moon out there, I think. Beautiful view of the city. Really neat waterway here. Kind of breaks up traffic though, you gotta get around there. But amazing. Very impressive city. I would love to get here someday. I'm gonna add to my map though. If you have any suggestions on where you want me to go, let me know too in the comments. I'll add them to my list. I got an ever-growing list. Ghent Belgium. And I'll get back to Belgium sometime. Certainly got to get to Bruges. And, some other places. Brussels. Goodness. Antwerp. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Lots more to see. I'll be back someday, I promise. Alright. Check out my Patreon. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Check out some of my other videos. Been all these places. Each one of these pins. Okay. Till next time.